Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about introversion, or the I in INTJ. They say there is no I in team. That is absurd, of course, for every team is composed of a group of I's. It is the individual efforts of all the members of a team that actually move the team forward. In basketball, it is an individual who passes the ball to another individual, the open teammate, so he can individually take a shot. It is a verbal magician who compiles a formal description of the data and recommendations of the other members of the team so they can be presented. It is the brilliant troubleshooter who shows the team where they have gone astray and how they can fix it. A team is absolutely helpless without at least some of the individuals contributing their individual parts to make the team work. The very word teamwork implies that the members of the team, the individuals, are working towards a common goal. A team doesn't work, the individuals within the team work. It has been pointed out by others that you do find an I in independence, industry, inquisitive, inspiration, intuition, invention, impressive, imagination, impact, and incisive. The input to a team comes from an integral part, the individual, to create impact. The Big Five test doesn't test for introversion by name. It seems to imply that it doesn't matter and only extroversion counts, because it does test for extroversion. The idea is to create a sliding scale for this personality trait. When I took the test, it gave me a 0 value for extroversion. That puts me 100% in the introverted camp. Now, when I took the 16personalities.com test, my mind score shows me as being 92% introverted, allowing for 8% extroversion. My intuition score of 87% and thinking score of 86% are slightly higher than my judging score of 76%. The photo you are looking at is of my ESTP wife. It was taken very near the time we were married. She is a natural brunette, but on Midway Island for a short time, she lightened her hair color, and I naturally took a picture or two. I know I'm heavily biased, but in my opinion, she is the most beautiful woman who ever lived, and I'm not open to debate on the topic. So, hopefully you will forgive my indulgence in using her as an example of an extrovert, because she truly is that. Looking online, there are graphs showing the spread over the range of extroversion. And I ended up on the bell curve in a very similar place, though on opposite sides, as I do on the IQ bell curve. On the extroversion bell curve, I'm off the scale on the left, totally introverted. Most of the bell curves for IQ don't have me listed either. The cutoff is usually at 145, and they don't like people in the 150s, it seems. Poor Isaac Newton, who made someone like me appear to be the village idiot, was way off the scale in the 180s or more. It is no surprise that I have spent my entire life feeling different. When they now bell curve almost everything, I am on one or the other wing. Before I started seeing graphical representations of these things, I just knew I was different, as I pointed out in my INTJ child video. However, being different is not a bad thing. We are all individuals, and if you poke and prod around enough into all the facets that make up any one person, you will find that there are quirks and nuances that make him as different as I am, at least in certain areas. Remember that introversion is a description, not an indictment. I actually have come across rules for the care and feeding of an introvert, as if I were a zoological specimen that needs to be kept in a kennel or menagerie. They tell people to respect our need for privacy. It is funny that this needs to be pointed out, but it does. Many extroverts feel a burning desire to force introverts into enjoying parties. Can you imagine trying to make such a person find the joy in reading a book that would force his mind to expand, to comprehend the depth of a philosophical probing of the fundamental essence of existence? Could he truly enjoy wrestling with the intellectual questions that would be the mental equivalent of bench pressing 500 pounds? And yet we don't force him to pick up a book, read and think, while he may very well insist that we pick up a girl, dance and drink. When I walk into a party, I see people talking in groups and interfacing in ways that do not interest me. I think a reverse situation might be for one of these extroverts who wants to cure my shyness, assuming he had no idea what the rules of chess are, to walk into a room full of players at a chess club intently playing chess, and he is fumbling around unsure what to do. It is the same thing. People are there doing what they enjoy doing, but they're not doing what this person enjoys doing. And now, how would you view someone telling that extrovert, "Son, you need to be more chess savvy. We need to draw you out of your shell"? As I went through the Big Five test, I ended up as being open at 80%, conscientious at 93%, as I have already pointed out, 0% extroverted, fairly agreeable at 73%, and no more neurotic than I am extroverted, as I scored 0% there as well. So, it appears that I am, according to this test, a stable, agreeable, open, conscientious introvert. On the 16 Personalities site, I am an intuitive introvert who bases his decisions upon thinking rather than feeling, and I tend to be far more assertive than turbulent. When I'm reading the descriptions online, I feel as though they view introversion as a lack of something rather than the possession of something. It is viewed in the same way that darkness is the absence of light, and introversion is the absence of extroversion. That is simply wrong. It is as wrong as suggesting that extroversion is the absence of introversion. Being introverted is something positive. It is a talent for studying your inner self. It is the ability to draw in ideas and process them deeply. It is a capacity to soar through the mental skies to places that only exist within your innermost self. It is a skill to be independent of the herd, and the gift to walk your own path and think your own thoughts. It is the power to draw upon whatever inner genius you may have in order to analyze and understand things you focus your intelligence upon. It is not a disease to be cured by bumbling, well-intentioned, introverted cripples called extroverts. It doesn't make you better when you can't do introversion. We will be happy to help our poor extroverted acquaintances get through life with the challenges they face, since they are so desperately in need of all that social interaction just to validate themselves through others. That is okay. We don't judge them for that weakness. It gets old having people describe me as having lower levels of energy. Are they kidding? Do they have any idea what sort of energy it takes to work 8 to 10 straight hours on a challenging mental project? No, they do not. If they did, they would never say I have a lack of energy. They say that I am reserved and that this can be mistaken for unfriendliness or antisocial tendencies. Who is doing the mistaking? Who is it that is at fault when someone makes a mistake? I am quite social with the right people. I am very friendly with the ones I am close to. Just because I am choosy about who it is that I befriend doesn't mean I have no friends. It is a fair statement to say that introverts and extroverts are different. It is an unfair evaluation to suggest that extroverts are in fact the way people should be and that introverts need to change to become more like them. Doing that is worse than merely being rude. It is potentially harmful, especially when you do it to a child. You just might embed feelings of inferiority that he will struggle with for the rest of his life. Now you may not, because as I said in my INTJ child video, we introverts are tougher than you think, because we have to be in the face of the misplaced extroverted feelings of superiority. Extroverts are not supreme, and they are no more normal than introverts. We introverts do what we do, and extroverts can't do. That is normal for us, and you can thank us later for all the many little gadgets you take for granted in your life, like TVs, phones, computers, cars, electric power, and other minor parts of your life. As you probably can tell from the image before you, I am totally in love with an extrovert. She is amazing to me, and I would never suggest that she change who she is. We love each other and accept each other as we are. Accepting introverts is all that introverts ask from extroverts. I don't wish to take parties away from those who enjoy them, and I don't wish to force chess clubs or libraries upon those who don't love them. Let's all play nicely. Whether we do it together or separately doesn't matter. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.